Have you ever walked up to a woman you felt attracted to, only to stand there like an idiot, unsure what to say? Or worse, you tried to say something clever, but it only made her feel like you were trying too hard? If you ever found yourself in this situation, here's the harsh truth. The problem isn't what you say, it's how you make her feel. Most men approach women with the wrong mindset. They believe that if they're kind enough, caring enough, or funny enough, the woman will naturally be drawn to them. But the reality is completely the opposite. Women don't choose men based on how nice or attentive they are. They choose based on a feeling, a deep, instinctive reaction that has nothing to do with logic or reason. To better understand this, let me share a personal story. There was a time when I made the same mistake. Every time I met a woman I was attracted to, I would try everything to impress her. I would compliment her too early, ask too many questions, and even laugh at everything she said, even when it wasn't funny. What was the result? She could sense my lack of confidence. She saw that I was trying too hard to win her approval, and that made me far less attractive in her eyes. But then, I learned an important lesson. If you want to attract a woman, you can't act like a fan. You need to act like a prize. What does this mean? It means you don't have to chase her attention. Instead, you need to create a strong, confident, and controlled presence. When you do this, you won't have to worry about whether she likes you or not, because she'll be the one chasing you. In this article, we'll explore why most men fail at attracting women and how you can change that. By applying simple yet powerful psychological and behavioral principles, you'll learn how to approach a woman in a way that makes her want you, even if she initially seems uninterested. We'll dive deep into the core elements of attraction, from the way you step up, the energy you bring, to how you control the conversation. We'll analyze why silence is sometimes more powerful than words and how to make her feel challenged, a key factor in maintaining long-term interest. So, let's begin this journey together. Get ready to change the way you see yourself and the way women see you. Most men fail with women before they even open their mouths. They approach with worry and uncertainty, hoping to impress. They treat her as if she's on a pedestal, thinking the right words or the perfect compliment will make her see them differently. But here's the harsh truth. If you approach a woman as if she's above you, you've already lost your attraction. It doesn't work the way most men think. Women don't choose men based on how kind they are or how caring they seem. They choose based on a deep feeling, a gut reaction that has nothing to do with logic. And that feeling is triggered by how you behave, how you react to her, and most importantly, whether you seem like a man who wants her or a man who desperately needs her. Men make the mistake of acting like fans instead of confident men. They see a beautiful woman and immediately switch into approval-seeking mode. They compliment her too early, ask too many questions, and laugh at everything she says, even when it's not funny. That energy tells her that you already think she's better than you. And if you believe that, why should she think otherwise? Women aren't attracted to men who need their validation. They're drawn to men who have been validated by their own lives, by their purpose, by their self-esteem. If you approach her expecting to conquer her, you're putting yourself in a weaker position. But if you approach as a man who has needs, who is comfortable, and who is selective, she feels the difference. This is why some men seem to effortlessly attract women, while others struggle. It's not about looks, money, or pickup lines. It's about mindset. Men who understand this don't chase her presence. They don't try to win her over. They let her feel their value before they even speak. So, if you ever felt rejected, ignored, or overlooked, not because you're not good enough, but because you were leading with the wrong energy, that changes today. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to approach a woman in a way that makes her want you, even if she initially seems uninterested. Because when you stop acting like a fan and start acting like a prize, everything changes. Let's begin. Never approach like a fan. It never works to approach like a fan. Most men fail before they even open their mouths. Why? Because they go to a woman as if she's a celebrity and they're her biggest fan. They radiate the energy of, I hope you like me, instead of, is she worth my time? She can sense this immediately, and the moment they initiate interaction, it's already over. The issue isn't what you say, it's how you perceive yourself. The moment you put a woman on a pedestal, she stops seeing you as a man she could be attracted to. Instead, She sees you as just another guy seeking her approval, one more fan in a long line of fans. That's not interesting, not exciting, and certainly not something that makes her feel anything. If you want to stand out, you need to flip the script. Instead of try to win her over, walk up with a mindset that she needs to conquer you. You're not approaching her because you think she's special. You're approaching because you're curious. Is she fun? Is she interesting? Is she even worth your time? That subtle shift in mindset changes everything. Women are attracted to focused, confident men who are completely unfazed by beauty. The second you show a woman that you're unaffected by her looks, she starts wondering why. Most guys stumble over themselves trying to impress her, but you're different. You're relaxed, in control, and intriguing. Imagine walking into a bar and seeing the most beautiful woman there. Most men will run up with a big smile, compliment her immediately, and try to keep her busy. They'll ask where she's from, what she does, and try to prove they're interesting enough. It might be polite, but she won't feel anything real. Now, picture another man noticing her, but not reacting right away. When he finally approaches, he doesn't shower her with compliments. Instead, he looks at her, holds it for a second, and says, "You look like someone who's always causing trouble, right?" He pauses, his body language relaxed, his tone playful, and his energy suddenly controlled. She's curious. He's not just another guy flattering her. He's a challenge. Attraction isn't about proving your value to a woman. It's about showing with confidence that you already have it. If you stop approaching women like a fan and start approaching like a man who knows his own worth, you'll immediately set yourself apart. And once she senses that, everything changes. Create attraction before you speak. Most men start talking too soon. The moment they approach a woman, they jump straight into conversation, filling the air with nonsense. They think saying the right thing will impress her, but they don't realize that attraction starts before they even speak. The way you step up, the energy you bring, and the silence you allow, all of it sets the stage for how she feels about you. Women don't respond to words. They respond to presence. When a man approaches too quickly with nervous energy and a need to fill the silence, it's a sign of weakness. He fears tension, the unknown, and not being liked. But a man who moves with control, who allows a moment of silence before speaking, creates something most men never do: intrigue. Attraction is what makes her stop and pay attention. It's what makes her wonder, who is this guy? If she already knows how the conversation will go before you even start, she's already checked out. But if there's a sense of mystery, if you make her feel something before you say anything, she'll lean in without even realizing it. That's why the way you approach matters more than the words you use. Be deliberate but unhurried. Hold eye contact a second longer than feels normal. Let her feel the weight of your presence before you speak. That slight pause, that moment of quiet confidence, changes everything. Instead of just hearing you, she feels you. Imagine a man approaching a woman in a cafe. He walks up too fast, says, "Hey, what's up?" in a rushed voice, and immediately starts talking about the weather or asking what she's drinking. She smiles politely, but inside, she's already checked out. Now imagine another man noticing her, taking his time, and when he finally steps up, he simply meets her eyes and gives a slight smile before speaking. He lets the silence linger just long enough to create tension. She feels something before a single word is spoken. When he finally speaks, his voice is calm and warm. She's intrigued before she even knows why. The difference? One man fills the space with words, hoping to be interesting. The other lets his presence do the work, making her curious about him. Most men chase a woman's attention, but men who truly attract know that silence, timing, and presence do more than words ever could. When you learn to create intrigue before you even speak, you don't have to work to impress her. She'll do the work for you. Silence speaks louder than words. Silence is more powerful than words. Most men, when they approach a woman, feel like they have to keep the conversation going, fill every pause, and ensure there's never a second of silence. What they don't realize is that their constant talking doesn't make them more attractive. It makes them forgettable. Silence is one of the most powerful tools a man can use, but most men are afraid of it. They think that if there's a pause in the conversation, the woman will lose interest. So they rush to fill the gaps with explanations, self-justifications, or nervous questions. But that's exactly what makes them look weak. A man who can't handle silence is a man who lacks confidence, and women feel that immediately. Think about it. Who are the most respected men in any society? They're the ones who don't feel the need to prove anything. They don't rush to fill every pause when they speak. They do it purposefully, and when they stop, they let their words settle. Controlled silence commands respect, and it works the same way with attraction. Women are attracted to men who make them feel something, and nothing creates good tension like a well-placed moment of silence. The pause when you lock eyes without saying anything, the delay before you answer a question, the slight hesitation before responding to something she said. Those small moments of silence do more than words ever could. Most guys don't understand this. They think attraction is about saying the right thing, but in reality, it's about how you say it and what you don't say. A man who's completely comfortable with silence, who doesn't rush to fill the air, creates curiosity in a woman. He makes her wonder what he's thinking, and that curiosity keeps her engaged. It's not about ignoring her or acting cold. It's about knowing that your words carry weight. When you speak less but with purpose, she listens more. When you hold back just enough, she leans in. When you let a conversation breathe instead of forcing it, she feels a shift in energy. Women are used to men who overcompensate, who talk too much, laugh too hard, and try too hard to impress. But a man who can hold his ground, who doesn't mind a little silence, creates tension instead of breaking it. That's the man who stands out. Control the frame, never let her lead. Controlling the frame means never letting her lead. Most men don't realize when they've lost control. They walk into an interaction and allow the woman to dictate the energy, the pace, and the outcome. They adjust her mood, respond to her reactions, and seek her approval. The moment you do this, you've given away all your attraction. It doesn't work when a man is chasing a woman. Women don't want a man who relies on them for permission to be confident, funny, or interesting. They want a man who can set the tone and lead, regardless of how she reacts. This isn't about force or aggression. It's about creating an environment where she feels like she's in the presence of a man who knows who he is. Think about the last time you saw a guy approach a woman and immediately start adjusting himself to her. Maybe she gave a short response, and he panicked, trying harder to make her laugh. Or maybe she seemed uninterested, and he became overly nice, desperate to win her over. That's weakness. That's the energy of a man who doesn't believe he's good enough as he is. A man who controls the frame doesn't react like this. He doesn't chase validation. He doesn't change his approach just because she's playing hard to get. He stays grounded even if she seems distant. He doesn't beg for engagement. He lets her feel the absence of his attention. If she challenges him, he doesn't get defensive. He remains unfazed. That's the kind of energy that attracts a woman, even without you trying. Women are naturally drawn to men who lead them. They want to be near someone who creates a solid environment. The guy who hesitates, seeks approval, and lets her reactions dictate his behavior blends in with the rest. The man who stands firm, owns his space, and moves with purpose is the one who makes her feel something real. This is where most men fail. They go in hoping to get something, validation, approval, attraction. But the men who truly win don't need anything. They lead the interaction on their terms. And once a woman feels that power, she chases them without even thinking about it. The art of controlled indifference. Most men show too much interest too soon. As soon as they see a woman they like, they start over-investigating, over-talking, and over-showing their interest, thinking it will make her like them back. In reality, the opposite is true. Women don't pursue men who are too available. They're attracted to men who show just enough to spark curiosity, but never so much that they become predictable. This is where controlled indifference comes in. It's not about being cold or rude. It's about not being too easily impressed. When you meet a woman, you need to hold back more. Instead of immediately confirming your interest, let her wonder where she stands with you. Instead of reacting to everything she says, keep your energy steady. When she realizes she can't easily get a reaction out of you, she feels the difference. That feeling is what makes her want more. Most men kill their attraction by being too eager. They think that if they just show her how much they like her, she'll like them back. But women aren't attracted to men who need them. They're attracted to men who seem like they could take her or leave her. That uncertainty creates excitement and makes her want to earn your attention instead of just getting it by default. Controlled indifference doesn't mean ignoring her. It means not chasing her. It means not being swayed by her beauty or her mood. It means staying calm, whether she laughs at your jokes or not. Acting aloof the moment she realizes that her looks won't sway you makes her start trying to impress you. Mastering this makes women chase you. It creates a subtle challenge where you never over-explain yourself, never beg for attention, and never let a woman feel like she's figured you out too soon. And that's why women stay intrigued. They never feel like they've had enough of you. Make her feel challenged. Most men make it too easy for women. They give their attention, time, and energy without getting anything in return. They act as if just being around a beautiful woman is a privilege. And that's exactly why they get overlooked or treated as just another option. Women don't value what's too easy. They respect and desire what they have to work for. If you're always available, always agreeing, and always trying too hard to win her over, you're not giving her a challenge. You're handing her all the control, and the moment she realizes she doesn't have to work for your attention, she stops valuing it. A woman should never feel like she has all of you without effort. She should feel like she has to prove herself, like she has to win you. When she senses that you're not easily swayed, that you're not desperate for her validation, she naturally starts trying harder. She starts adjusting her energy and doing things to keep you busy. But most men don't do this. They're afraid of losing a woman, so they never create a reason for her to chase them. They never set boundaries, never push back, and never let her feel what it's like without them. They think keeping her happy means giving her everything she wants without question. But women don't respect men who are too easy to get. They respect men who stand their ground, who have standards, and who don't let them walk all over them. Making her feel challenged isn't about playing games. It's about knowing your value and showing her, through your actions, that she's not the center of your world. If she wants to keep you, she has to step up. Men who women chase are the ones who make them wonder, who don't reveal everything, who aren't always available, and who make them earn their presence. That's what keeps attraction alive. If she always feels like she has you completely, the excitement dies. But if she always feels a bit uncertain, working to stay in your world, that's when she feels a deep attraction at her core. Most guys fail because they don't understand this. They give too much too soon and then wonder why she loses interest. But a man who creates a challenge becomes someone she can't stop thinking about. Always leave first. Most men don't know when to walk away. They linger too long, text too much, and stay in situations that no longer serve them. They fear that if they leave first, they'll miss their chance. But the truth is, leaving first is exactly what makes you unforgettable. Women are used to being chased. They're used to men trying to maintain the conversation, dragging out dates, and texting twice when she doesn't reply fast enough. When a man doesn't do these things, when he leaves before she expects it, suddenly she's the one wondering. She's the one who feels the loss of his presence. And that feeling is what makes her want more. Leaving first doesn't mean disappearing or fading out. It means ending things on your terms. It means being the one to leave the conversation first, leaving her wanting more. It means ending a date at the peak of energy, not dragging it out until it fizzles. It means not staying in situations where you're not valued the most. Guys stay too long because they're afraid of losing the moment, but attraction doesn't work that way. It's not about how long you stay. It's about the impact you leave when you go. If you leave when she's still engaged, still interested, and still wanting more, that's when she remembers you. That's when she starts replaying the interaction in her mind, wondering when she'll see you again. The dynamic shifts the moment you become a man who chooses to walk away. Women can sense when a man is ready to leave, and that's what makes him stand out. It tells her you're not desperate. It shows her that you have other options, other priorities, and that scarcity creates value. Most men will never do this. They'll stay too long, try too hard, and make themselves too available, and that's why they get forgotten. But the man who leaves first, the man who walks away before she's had her fill of him, is the man who stays in her mind. You never lose by walking away first. You only lose by staying too long and letting her take you for granted. When you control the exit, you control the frame. And when you control the frame, you control the attraction. This is how you make a woman want you, even when she wasn't initially interested. Conclusion: attraction is not something complex or mysterious. It stems from how you perceive yourself and how you present your value to women. When you stop trying too hard to impress and instead focus on becoming a confident man who controls his energy and presence, you'll notice things changing in ways you didn't expect. Women aren't attracted to desperate men who are always chasing their attention. They're drawn to men who know how to balance closeness with independence, attentiveness with controlled indifference. Remember, attraction isn't about what you say. It's about how you make her feel. If you approach a woman with the energy of a fan, you've unintentionally lowered your value in her eyes. She won't see you as an interesting man, but rather as just another guy trying to win her approval. However, if you approach her with the mindset that you're a prize, a person she needs to prove herself to in order to win, you immediately create a significant difference. One of the biggest mistakes most men make is not knowing when to stop. They text too much, drag out conversations, and stay in situations that no longer serve them. They fear that if they leave first, they'll miss their chance. But the truth is, leaving first is exactly what makes you unforgettable. Women are used to being chased. They're accustomed to men trying to maintain a conversation, prolonging dates, and texting twice when they don't respond quickly enough. When a man doesn't do these things, when he leaves before she expects it, suddenly she's the one wondering. She's the one who feels the loss of his presence. And that feeling is what makes her want more. Leaving first doesn't mean disappearing or fading away. It means ending things on your terms. It means being the one to leave the conversation first, leaving her wanting more. It means concluding a date at the peak of energy, not dragging it out until it fizzles. It means not staying in situations where you're not valued the most. Guys stay too long because they're afraid of losing the moment. But attraction doesn't work that way. It's not about how long you stay. It's about the impact you leave when you go. If you leave while she's still engaged, still interested, and still wanting more, that's when she remembers you. That's when she starts replaying the interaction in her mind, wondering when she'll see you again. The dynamic shifts the moment you become a man who chooses to walk away. Women can sense when a man is ready to leave, and that's what makes him stand out. It tells her you're not desperate. It shows her that you have other options, other priorities, and that scarcity creates value. But to truly apply these principles in everyday life, you need to change your mindset. You need to stop thinking that women are the center of your world. Instead, focus on building your own value. Invest in yourself. Learn new skills, improve your appearance, and develop your character. When you become a man of value, you won't need to chase women's attention. Instead, they'll naturally be drawn to you. A confident man with goals and passions will always attract women more than a man who's just trying to impress. Also, don't forget that attraction isn't a game. It's not about manipulating a woman's emotions or trying to control her. Instead, it's about understanding your own worth and knowing how to express it naturally. When you do this, you won't have to worry about whether she likes you or not, because she'll be the one chasing you. This not only helps you create initial attraction, but also build a lasting relationship. So now you understand more clearly the core elements that attract women. What matters isn't what you say, it's how you make her feel. Stop acting like a fan and start acting like a prize. Create attraction before you speak. Use silence as a powerful tool and don't hesitate to leave first. I want to emphasize that not all women will like you, and that's perfectly okay. In fact, when you accept that not everyone will like you, you'll feel freer. You won't feel pressured to please everyone. Instead, you'll focus on becoming the best version of yourself. And when you do that, you'll attract the right people, those who truly appreciate your value. Finally, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever noticed a woman treating you differently when you stop chasing her attention? If you experience this, share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment and share your story. Have you applied these principles? What were the results? I'll read all the comments and respond to them. Let's create a community where we can share experiences and learn from each other. If you found this article helpful, like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss future content. Don't forget to apply what you've learned from this article to your daily life. Step up, apply these principles, and watch everything change. Are you ready to make a change? Start today.